Welcome back to some professional Starcraft 2, the very best of the best. Europe versus North America, Team Liquid versus Ting, Terran versus Protoss. But more specifically, in the bottom left of this ESL Open Cup, Europe, by the way, playoffs, in a best of 5. Yes. From Team Liquid, from France, Clem. In the top right, sponsored by Ting, the 3-time WCS champion, the best player in the history of the United States of America, from the great state of New York. It is Neeb. Opting for a gate expand as a shield Protoss might. As Neeb has historically been kind of the standard. Him, stats, showtime. Sometimes Zest. Zest is a little split personality on that. But what to look to as a template, like how do you get to 3 bases, how do you get to 70 probes, and how do you take the game from there? Now, players are definitely, on both sides, building up a greater variety of openers. That means, that's a fancy way to say cheeses. And Neeb has definitely partooketh. That's the one. In some of those himself. Did Neeb spot this? Oh. So, just general shenanigans at the natural. Whether it's bunker or NG Bay block or things like that. I blame TY for this. TY has been pretty consistently lately either NG Bay blocking or going for the behind the mineral line bunker. It crops up every now and again. It just seems to be something that Terrans will mix in. I'm not surprised Clem goes for the very micro-intensive early game play, as honestly most of his strategies could be described as micro-intensive early game play. Neeb's adept just a split second late on delaying the command center, and that's unfortunate. Oh, 2 Reapers committed to by Clem. 2 Reapers against Protoss with a bunker. Well, are we going to see some... Yes, do it! Dodge it to the bunker! Oh, he's doing it. Meanwhile, there's an adept just chilling over here. I want to see some SCV juke micro. Oh, the grenades out there. Repair. Pushes away. Oh, the adept almost dies. Comes towards the shield battery. Looking at the... Oh, he drops that! I'm sorry. Like, this is so annoying. It doesn't really do very much. Okay, where are you going? He gets the salvage. 25 mineral restocking fee, but that's better than losing it outright. Looks like the adept... Wait. He's only lost 2 SCVs. He lost the SCV that built the bunker, and he lost the SCV that built the CC. But both of them had already finished the relevant buildings early on. And wait a second. Neeb. Did I just see? I wasn't paying any attention here. Neeb went for a Stargate. He's opening up with Phoenix. Of course, he spotted what was happening on the other side. It knows it's an expand. It's incredibly unlikely to be some sort of big bio play. So Stargate is relatively safe. It's just it's rarely seen nowadays in an age of blink stalkers and pretending to go blink stalkers, then actually going blink stalkers. And that's most of it. Every once in a while a robo. Especially Phoenix first. That has to be a reaction, I'd assume, as opposed to like a standard play. Obviously this hasn't been a super standard game. Get knocked down. I get up again. Well, Neeb cleans up the Reapers. No survivors. Though, obviously, the Adepts are scouted. It looks like everybody's going to calm down and focus on their tech now. Neeb, really suspicious of Little Mines, you can tell by the movement. But it is going to be a Cyclone early. If he could actually get a hold of it. There's no more energy, unfortunately, left on those Phoenixes. Hellion spotting a spotting pylon. Which, I mean... when will it stop? Where does it end? A few more turrets on the way. Clem, this usually indicates he's getting ready to move out. Not him specifically, just in general. Getting those turrets up means I don't want to be keeping a significant portion of my units tied to my mineral line in a less than likely attempt to keep things alive. That Cyclone is obviously the most vulnerable part of the army here. But it does tuck in with the Marines. Lock on annoying but not deadly to Phoenixes. Neeb behind this, it looks like he's going to go for kind of the old school Robo-based Stargate, Colossus Phoenix. He might throw a Disruptor in, but I see no reason to go Disruptor right now. Like now, if there was ever a time, alright, if there was ever a time to go for Colossus Phoenix, I think now would be that time. He knows he's up against Bio. He knows that it's going to be a medevac timing. He's got air control with the Phoenixes. Colossi working very nicely. And you don't want to have too many moving parts. Like you start going Disruptor, Blink Stalker, Sentry, High Templar, and either you go to Hogwarts or you go back at least a significant portion of workers when they kill your base because you can't manage everything. 7 SCVs go down, but Neeb does recall out. Brings most of the Phoenixes back home. How many does he have now? He's got 8 Phoenix. Wow, 8 Phoenixes. Will Clem just be able to beat this down? Picks up the Widow Mine. A lot of Phoenix is going to die right off the bat. The Colossus pops out in a very awkward angle. Where's the battery overcharge? Where's the overcharge? No overcharge. I don't know. I think he used it at his third. Well, the Colossus went down. The Phoenixes are dead. The batteries are still draining. They're still keeping units intact. And it looks like Clem, it looked bad because the Colossus popped down into a world that he really didn't have a high life expectancy in. Still, though. Clem not able to get the damage done. Killing a Colossus, good. Killing a few Phoenixes, pretty great. But losing everything, losing the Raven, losing the Medevacs, and all the Marines and Marauders underneath? I don't know. I don't really know. I don't think so. There's a third coming up for Clem, but if I've watched a lot of Clem games. He plays in like everything. I'm looking at you, Neeb. Come on, you gotta play more. You gotta take more money from Big Gabe and the other Europeans who happen to win occasionally. But anyways, Clem has a tendency to really focus on production and tech before getting his armory, which is a little unconventional. Usually the... Oh my god. You can tell Clem wants those Widow Mines so badly. Maybe you can't. Maybe you should only send 2 Marines. But would that have been too obvious to pull off the masterful base? I don't know. What? What? Fleet Beacon, second Stargate, now slapping on a... He's gonna go... Is he gonna... Not carriers. Is this for carriers? Because not for Tempest. I mean, Phoenix range, maybe. I think he's gonna go carriers. On 3 base? I mean, he has a little bit of a lead. But now Clem is catching up with mules. Yeah, like, Tempest don't make any sense against this. But carriers, once you get enough going, he's just going ranged Phoenix to start. He's building Phoenixes and range, and that's not surprising. But does this end up at carriers? He doesn't even have +1 air weapons. So he's just going pure... Okay, well, alright. Stop listening to the stream, Neeb. As for you, Clem, armory. Clem, stop it. Will people get upgrades around here? Hallucinated Phoenix heading out. This is, I haven't really seen these unit compositions clash in a while. There's a lot of moving parts for both sides. A lot of things that can go wrong. Like, a Colossus Phoenix Disruptor composition does not have the brute force of Archon Charge Lot Immortal. Or even focusing on most of those. And the same goes for Clem. Like, Bio Viking Ghost has a lot of things that can get too far ahead of themselves and end up being a waste of money. And there it is. There's a carrier. 13 Phoenixes. The Baker's dozen, I think. Oh, God. These Widow Mines could be devastating. Oh, my God! Big hits. Knocks 1 or 2 Phoenixes out. The rest have their shields stripped away. He might recall, but... He's down to 12. I guess he built 1 or 2 more. It looked worse than it was. Most of the damage was to shields. But here comes Clem, trying to take advantage of this small opportunity to at least maybe pressure. EMP dropped on the shield batteries. Vikings find a nice spot. Guardian shield not nearly enough to deflect this. Here come the Phoenixes to intercept the Vikings. But the 4th base is under attack. He needs to get something done here. 1 disruptor shot finds nothing. The Phoenixes have to move to cover, but Marines easily gun them down. Clem up by 40 supply. Are there any more fadeaway disruptor shots? He has maybe 1 or 2 cooldowns here. Backed up against, he can't give up the 3rd. A disruptor, big hit in the center. Looking for another one. There's so much going on over the top. He has to micro back. A single carrier has arrived, the variety pack. But is there enough? He has to micro back a little bit more. There's 1 Colossus, 1 carrier. Probes have to be pulled. 2 more disruptors show up to the Hogwarts build. There's still the Colossus. The shield battery. Is their battery overcharged? Probes kill a ghost. What am I watching? 20 probes go down and Neeb. At the end of the day, it appears more stuff counters less stuff. Neeb wins the fight, loses the game. You can't just build all the cool units. Okay, you gotta clean your plate, Neeb. I kind of skipped analogies there. You gotta eat your vegetables. You gotta build your charge lots, your archons. Something to stand in front that isn't a fragile flying unit. But Neeb tried to stand tall, and Clem just bowled him over. So, well, that game 1. It felt like he was going for the, like the showcase build. Like, I'm making a tutorial video guide on how to control 6 spellcasters at once. Clem's like, I have men with drugs and guns, and what else do you want from me? Well, also Vikings and ghosts. So yeah, we're definitely in the 1600s. Like, Jimmy! Where did you put that replay? Oh, okay, we got it. Eternal Empire. Jimmy! Okay, this is the world we live in now. Oh, okay. Clem takes game 1 with a solid macro play. I feel like Neeb kind of squandered his opportunity. Like, you can go carriers, or you can go for Colossi in that scenario, but you can't go carriers and Colossi. You can't do it. Maybe if you have a little bit more of an economic lead, but that's probably better used to, I don't know, go for just a timing attack to knock out their 3rd or something like that. Now, it was game 1. It is a best of 5. If you're going to use a strategy like that, if you want to put something on the table when you're playing the full series, well, if you're going to do something off meta or non-standard or at least try something new, game 1 One, if it doesn't work, well, you still got the whole series. And two, if it does or it doesn't work, you put that in the back of their mind like, wait, whoa, is this that only units that start with C build that the Protoss are trying? And, like you got Charge, Colossi, Carriers, Phoenixes, you know. Probe harass. I'm like, is there anything interesting to say? He's walling off the Reaper, kind of. It can still jump. Wait, is that a full wall? The Reaper will soon educate me. I see Special live in the chat. How you doing, Special? I look forward to when Special wakes up in time somehow for any of the ESL Open Cups, so the replays we watch can be his. He's like, Winter, I want your money right now. Well, we got to get past the players who woke up in time first. This is Europe! It's not 8 a.m. for you! Bullshit! It's like 5, 6... actually, that's like... It might be earlier. I don't actually know the timing. There's also the Korean tournament, which is just like 12 players. Anyways, Neeb is going Stargate, but on the other side of the map. Very creative adaptation to his strategy, and by that I mean super cheesy. Clem misses it. Or is Clem going for like a starport or something? No. I mean, yes, but not here. What are you looking for, Mr. Clem? Is he gonna build something here? Build a fusion core. Oh no, we've seen the battlecruiser build against Protoss doesn't. I've never seen it work. I've seen it kind of a little bit not immediately die to a counterattack, but I've never seen it work. So, but yep, there's a fusion core. Oh god. And in comes the Oracle, and suddenly there's no units to counter it. A Cyclone's about to pop out, which is actually going to ruin Neeb's day a bit. No. Oh. That was definitely the most important unit Neeb had, and he really needed to not lose that there, at the very least. The Cyclone just kind of comes up and knocks it out. Just having Revelation and somewhat constant... Oh, not a... Okay, Neeb, use the high ground. Where you go? Oh, God, he's taking so much damage. So, Clem is about to scout the Stargate. It's not going to be a real surprise here. Oh, it's like, oh, wait a second. Okay. Battlecruiser on the way. Is Clem about to prove me for the first time wrong? Because every time I've seen the battlecruiser build, what happens is it jumps in, sometimes unscouted, and then 3 stalkers get warped in, and then the battlecruiser either dies or does nothing. Stalkers actually do damage, unlike queens, especially after their knitting needle nerf. Rest in peace, Brenda. We will see. There is a shield battery in the main. I think suspicions of Cloak Banshee here. Because, obviously, it was a 1-1-1. How does the battlecruiser do damage? Maybe combine with another attack? Neeb already has a third, the Greedy Devil. He's going for Blink. His Blink is halfway there. The proxy Stargate was destroyed, but... Alright, Clem. Let's see it. He jumps. Was it far enough out of vision that Neeb didn't realize? Well, oh, he could go for the pylon. He's gonna go for the shield battery, which is actually the best possible target, I think, here. Yeah. Okay. to the battle cruiser. Stasis stops the cyclone. Blink is nearly done. When combined with, well, actually the battle cruiser is kind of okay. Well, you got one probe kill, but I think that was the probe from earlier. So the battle cruiser, how do I put this? Just didn't do shit. Like, why? It's not good. Stop it. Alright, and now the Blink Stalkers just kind of come in. The battlecruiser might think about doing something, but it's so badly damaged it can't even really risk it. Oh, and so, despite the proxy Stargate getting shut down, and Neeb being behind and going for a greedy third CC, the battlecruiser did nothing, and now it jumps back home with a grand total of 2 kills. So that's real value right there. 1 shield battery and 1 probe, I think, were the kills. Oh, but another battle cruiser. This one has gotten, oh, almost 3. Oh, shit. Okay. He committed. These things cost as much as a command center in minerals, and obviously way more in gas because command centers don't cost gas. So, you're flying around a CC of minerals. If you get 3 probes, which, like, 2 random Hellions probably could. I'm sorry. Like, I want the battlecruiser build to be good, but not really. It's already good enough against Zerg. You don't need battlecruisers in every matchup, you goddamn Terrans. Though, despite all this, Neeb really hasn't, like, well, he's got a nice amount of workers, but 1-1 is on the way. It didn't start particularly early. He's got charge coming up. He's getting a 4th. The map vision, he knows the map is dark and full of Terrans, especially when there's battlecruisers involved. The Oracle still existing is somewhat helpful. Just regular utility, and he could be using Revelation. Why is Clem getting Yamato? Clem is pretty confident in this series, I guess. We're going to spend another 150 for the battlecruiser. What are you oh, wait. He has 2. Oh, yeah, the first one went home. He has 2 battlecruisers. And this is where the damage is dealt. In fact, it might be, though. Right. Where are the Yamatos? He's blasting. What? Oh, the Oracle. Meanwhile, some units dragged back. I'm not sure how many Stalkers were lost. He's now lost 9 Stalkers, so... I guess. What do we got up here? 2 charge lots. I don't know if going for this 4th base, the non-rich Vespine 4th base, was necessary or even a particularly good idea. This is kind of a small group of units, a whole lot of infantry upgrades finishing up for... Whoa, what happened here? 8 SCVs died. It looks like a mainling attack, but we just saw the charge launch, so... Battlecruisers heading to the main. The Forge is thankfully not on the very edge of the base. The main army caught mostly in a stasis. Widow Mines negated. Armory not done, so they can be cleaned up. Most of the army is frozen in fear and also stasis ward. The battlecruisers are finding damage, so that's a thing that is... Wait, do they have they... Oh, loses a cruiser! So, a whole command center of minerals gone. Another group of units at least trying to trade here. The last battlecruiser jumps away at the last possible second. The Bio Army is cut to pieces. Clem's armories are so late. Well, late, not necessarily like they should have been early. What am I watching? But he just decides on getting his unit composition, his production up first. It's not like Neeb's upgrades are amazing, but I feel like that was something of a missed opportunity for Clem. Alright, so we've kind of calmed down. Much like last game, after a weird start, we decide, okay, just chill out for a bit. And then it looks like Neeb is in a much better position. He's got the meat to his potatoes. Well, or to his, like, fancy honey-glazed brioche bun. That's how you say it, right? Brioche. I'm pretty sure I've heard it in advertisements before. It sounds fancy. It sounds vaguely French, so aka fancy. You know who else is vaguely French? Clem. Fancy. But not this game. He's going for the basics. We've got Ghost, Vikings, Bio. He's not skimping on the tech units. As, if you just go, some players, I'm reminded of Polt back in the day, would literally just go for Marine Marauder Medevac and just micro like 4 different places at once until the Protoss keeled over. But that just no longer works. You really do need that tech mixed in. Alright, Zealot counterattack shut down. Some Widowmine drops coming out. 6 probe kills, and suddenly Clem's ahead on supply. Double disruptor for Neeb. We're heading to a showdown here soon. The battlecruiser is still alive. Okay. The fadeaway Yamato. Vikings on the way. Okay, well this war prism is not long for this world. Neeb needs to make a decision. Are we going to be moving out? He no longer has a prism. He does not have storm. But he is maxed out. He's got all these bases. There is nothing left to be gained by sitting at home. He's not getting a starport. He's now just getting a Dark Shrine 3-3, but you're not sitting around until 3-3. You want to try to force the issue against a Terran who doesn't have a well-entrenched 4th base, ideally. Okay, Neeb is adding his second Stargate of the game, if you remember. A long 12 minutes or so, 11 minutes ago. Oh, this is awkward. Only one of these players can recall. We'll see if any of them do. The Viking fleet. A dozen Vikings there. This base is gone. The full-on both sides base trade. Neeb, does he come back or does he go forward? The disruptors are firing. He kept them at home for defense. Of all the things to defend, possibly the most supply efficient. Another shot and another one. Looking for more. Gets the ghost. A warping. Vikings on the deck. Neeb ransacking the 3rd. Clem going straight for the natural. More disruptor shots targeted down. The Vikings doing so much damage. Neeb still has the recall. 3rd base is gone. When does he recall? The natural is absolutely gone. The robos are gone. The forges are still spinning. Another fusion core of the main. Neeb is going for the natural. There almost should be like just a percentage of buildings left. It's still a long way off that, but what is there left in the main? Clem trying to hold the line. The production of both sides exposed. Forges targeted. They're not that close to finishing, but now they never will. Denied. The gateway is torn down. The Templar archives evaporates. Clem still. The army supplies are in favor of Clem. Neeb is... Did he recall already? It's on cooldown? What? It's on cooldown recently. Oh my god. Neeb messed up his recall somewhere, I think. What has happened? The recall is on cooldown from like 12 seconds ago. I don't know what happened. Either he got probes out. Maybe he got probes out. That's the only thing that makes any sense here. And realized that he didn't need to scramble back because his main is probably gone anyways. So we'll just give Neeb the benefit of the doubt there, but... Oh, DTs. He waited. Oh, he got probes out because he has the Dark Templar to keep pressure on the other side. Clem is scrambling to mine. Neeb has 2-3 bases still intact. The army engaging heads up. Colossi knocked down. The Bio army forced to fight head-to-head. 3-2 against 2-2. Vikings hit the deck. Medevacs out of energy. But the Terran army wins the battle. The war ain't over yet, though. On the other side, Neeb has 3 Dark Templar. They're very limited. This is the only orbital, and it has no scans. So much damage is being dealt. I don't know what happened here, but the Stalker's not happy with it. The Bio army still intact. Another upgrade gonna be denied forever, more than likely. There is the scan. He's got 50 energy. He's gonna try to use the ghosts in order to EMP instead. He's gotta be careful now. He EMPs his own orbital! Neeb baits it! What a play! I don't even know if either player knew what was happening there, but he EMP'd his only scans. There is no Dark Shrine. I mean, yeah, there is no Dark Shrine to make more DTs, but that lack of orbital, he's gonna have to EMP again. He lands 2 of them. That's a lot of... Where's the battle cruiser? Where did he come from? Oh, Neeb still has... The army supply is so low. Neeb needs to divide and conquer now. He has to engage smaller parts. The battle cruiser! Never mind! I've been proven wrong! 13 minutes later, the battle cruiser becomes a relevant part of the game again. The parting shot, but here comes the army. The supplies are even. The rest of the Terran army brought to bear, but Neeb has a single Dark Templar counterattack. The Marauders, oh, where did he get that scan? He built another orbital. The Immortals are trying to hold the line, but Neeb, the Fire Army, is tearing through everything. Probes have to be pulled. It doesn't matter. Clem! He does it. Once again, more counters, less. The recall, I still question that recall. Even if it was to get the probes out, Neeb felt like he had the army to go heads up. He just didn't commit enough. Much like last game, he just didn't have enough to hold what he needed to hold. Well, match point. Don't do me like that, Neeb. Don't come over to Europe, get to the semifinals of the ESL Open Cup, and then just get swept. I know Clem is the, he's, a fan favorite right now. He's so hot right now. Like a freshly baked baguette. But we go under the sea. Next up, submarine. Neeb needs to buckle down. Like, he's had a tendency, just a little too cute. That's what it is. Sometimes you just gotta beat their face in. No fancy disruptor plays. None of this, like, Phoenix. No. Take Archons. Take their face. No longer face. Anyways, game 3. Jimmy! Come on! Oh, okay. In the bottom right. Why did they switch colors? At least it's not a mirror match. But Neeb is now in the red. This is Neeb's power color. If Neeb were to wear a tie, which would be a sight, it would be a red power tie. And a pocket square of the same bright rosy red. And I just imagine him wearing one of those oversized suits like they have on GSL. That Tasteless and Artosis. And check next time. Watch the last VOD of GSL. And now watch the next one. And tell me they aren't just switching outfits. It's not a joke. It's real. It's real and it's happening. Wait, where is it? I have this. And they're trying to pull it right in front of our eyes. Where did I put it? I don't know anymore. I'm sure you guys care about this first probe doing damage and stuff, though. That's much more important than exposing. This is 2 different days of GSL. It's not a conspiracy! Day 1. Day 2. Wake up, sheeple! Alright, very... I bet you guys believe the moon is round too. This has become a new standard. Building a shield battery right as the Cyber Core finishes. And just sending the Adept out in order to do exactly this. And he does get the delay. Unfortunately, the SCV, at a perfect timing, does pop right out of the bunker. But the shield battery is to deal with that earlier. Oh my god, what am I watching? Oh! Unfortunately. That Reaper gonna die as well. But, not the end of the world. I'd say Clem... about even on that exchange. Both sides nibbled a bit without really committing. And we see a Twilight again. No more Stargate. Well, I guess Eternal Empire was technically Stargate. In fact, this is the first game Neeb has just opened up with a Robo Twilight here. Clem slapping a factory on. Another Rex. There's a Viking on the way. This is kind of Clem saying, well, I did lose the Reaper, so I don't have very reliable scouting. 3 Adepts very much look like... Very much looks like a Stargate build, by the way. Like 90% of the time you see 3 Adepts combined, it's a Stargate build. Like with no Stalker, no Sentry, nothing like that. But in this case, that is not the case. Great commentary. No, I can see why he's afraid of it. Hellion heading towards the main as the Adept shade into the natural. I feel like he seems like he's wondering when an Oracle is going to come in. That's what I'm seeing there. I don't know. There's not much to say here now. What do you mean there's not much to say? I'm defaulting to the laziest caster tropes now. There's not much more to say about... And that's all I got to say about that. We'll just wait a moment until something interesting happens. Oh, look, an observer. How crazy is that? Did you know if you can't see an observer and you want to figure out where it is? I mean, Clem obviously knows. And it's not moving. If you zoom out and zoom in quickly, it'll make it look like it's moving. So that way you can snipe observers just like Clem. Actually, Clem's thinking about Blink Stalkers right now, but... These players are so good that Neeb is literally microing his observer away so he doesn't get scanned right off the bat. Like, it's just like an Overlord coming in. Players are watching for it. Oh, Clem. The eyes of Clem. He saw that. He saw that observer. It's right underneath there. This is... What? Why is the Viking on the ground? What am I watching? What was that? Clem, what was... Never mind. Don't look at Clem anymore. What's going on there? Why was there just a random Viking? What did you think it was gonna do? I guess maybe you thought that the Stalkers were across the map. I can only imagine that was it. Neeb slunk the observer through everything and is actually behind the ramp now. Maybe he killed a probe that was trying to... Oh my god! This is where all our minerals went! People were saying Neeb is stealing our minerals. Okay? They said, wait, we were supposed to build a third, and where did all the minerals go? Well, we figured it out. Here they are. Hashtag GateGate. You think I'm a... Hashtag GateGate is real, and Neeb is a linchpin of their dastardly plans. They charge so much for those gates. They charge so much with those zealots. When will it end? Meanwhile, though, Widowmine drop drags a whole lot of this back. There's almost nothing at the third. There's a couple Templar. The Storm drop, potentially, but the charge lots come into the natural. Is it time? Jimmy, where is it? Oh, there it is! You should have said today. Did it say today? It might have said today. Meanwhile, the Zealots are cleaned up. Get 6 SCV kills. Blink? No blink. He hasn't even started. I don't know if he's going to, but several stalkers. A lot of badly bruised bio here being chased down. Oh, the storms! Oh my god, he wishes he had blink so badly. Could murder all those men inside that medevac before they could ever even hope to escape. The medevac crumbling around them as they plummet to their quick and fiery deaths. Yes, blink would just... Widow Mines being added on as Clem once again foregoing the armory in order to get his Ghost Academy out. It's worked for him thus far, I can't knock it. Just focusing on that unit composition on +1 armor. Couple more racks on the way. Neeb, the one thing he does have with all these gateways early, he's got a comfortable gateway count already. A lot of the times you find yourself having to add those on after your third. That's, of course, if you go for a more comfortable third. A storm drop always looks worse than it is. The water balloons. Oh, another storm. A surprisingly ineffectual storm drop. That did a little better. Everybody very mildly to moderately uncomfortable with those storms. Besides the few people that died. But, like, it's a very small percentage. It's fine. Go back to work. It's fine. We killed the warp prism. Are you sure it didn't recall? No, it actually did die there at the last second. That is important. The Observer, by the way, still watching. The same Observer. Has he killed an Observer this game? No. This Observer has snuck inch by inch. Nobody, only when not even the Observers are observing it does the Observer move. But then it can slink forward into a more effective position and see even more of Clem's carefully laid plans. Clem is up a little in supply. Once again, we're going for a very tech-heavy game. As in, Ghosts and, well, just Ghosts here, but Ghosts before Armory. Disruptors before +2 upgrades. Neeb started +2 attack, canceled it, and went for +2 armor. Which means he's really going to be leaning on these Storms and these Disruptors. That just means charge lots, hold them in place, and I hope I don't shoot too many of you in the face. Or in the back. Disruptors, it doesn't matter as long as they're in the radius, but that is essentially what Neeb is saying with +2 armor. It's going to come down to the spellcasting one way or another. Same goes for Clem, of course. Ghost going to be a very relevant part. Neeb just has a casual Templar, giving some real bad feedback and also some uncomfortable storms. A huge charge lock counterattack into the natural. Clem far ahead on army supply, but going to be forced to split it. A lot of these are already bruised, including the medevacs. The Disruptors sneaking back behind the rocks. Neeb is going for a fourth while hitting the natural. While the Zealots might not have their shields, they have plenty of HP. In fact, this Zealot counterattack was so well timed and so strong, Clem has to bring his army back. And that's a huge deal when he's looking at the sharp timing. Clem doesn't have +2 attack or +2 armor on the way. Clem, I wouldn't be surprised if he pulls the boys here. He doesn't have a fourth. He doesn't have the upgrades. He's not able to lay on the pressure. So really, there's only one choice. It's an attack. He's got to get damage done. Neeb is taking more bases. They're random-ass Widow Mines. How many kills? That's the first one, surprisingly. I guess Clem still has 60 workers. But his army peaks in just a few moments. He's about to hit that max power. That's going to be with the Ghost Shockwave, the Ghost EMP radius upgrade. But past that, he's maxed out. It's time to fight. He agrees. Oh my god, a massive drop, but shot down before most of it can unload. The feedbacks, the storms with the Widow Mines and EMPs still doing so much. Shield battery overcharge holds the line. And without it, it would have been dicey. Imagine if this hadn't been spotted. If it was that dangerous, even though, like, obviously Neeb knew it was coming, if it hadn't been spotted, that amount unloading with full energy and full health, devastating. Oh my god, not the Widow Mine again. What if he missed? What if he missed with all three? It was very close. It's like somewhere in this general vicinity is a Widow Mine. And I'm not dealing with it anymore. Oh, that Widow Mine hurt as well. The Widow Mine's definitely a pain. Oh, but storms from the flank! Oh, some more disruptors warding him away. Clips a few things. Is that range? No, the Liberators just find a nasty Venn diagram of freedom here. That it's going to take a whole lot of Stalkers to dislodge. You know when I said Clem might as well pull the boys? Well, he's just managed his army so... Oh my god! I never finished that sentence. Clem has managed his army well enough that he's maintained his supply, though Neeb has taken some big chunks out of it. Those are the kind of hits, and rarely do we see those kind of hits in the mid-game. What do I mean? Like, usually either there's the game-ending hits before anyone reacts, and then the game-ending hits that when the game is already won, but rarely when it really matters. Well, despite those hits, this drop in the main is devastating to Neeb. There might be, wait, a Warpin of Charge Lots. Yeah, a Warpin, not a recall. Saves. Was that extended Thermal Lance? I guess. Does he have Colossi? He will. There's still Widow Mines just in random places, just like the Observer. He's been watching this whole time. Licking his Observer lips. Digitally and metaphorically. But with a lustiness you might not expect from a mechanical creature. And with that, we're moving on. Unlike this Observer who's just been waiting. Clem, 175 supply, but the drops have not gotten the damage he really wanted done. Like, this army, there's not enough Liberators. +2 attack is done. But the amount of splash damage and the variety, the diversity brochure of splash damage here that Neeb has. Disruptors, Archons, Templar, I assume are somewhere. Colossi. Is there enough from Clem? Goes for the center mass, another part of the volley, throws more out, kills his own Archon, but for the most part it's looking pretty good here for Neeb as he cleans most of this up. The Nexus was targeted at a point, but the overcharged battery will bring its shields. Wow, that's a lot of shields. An overcharged battery does more than a full Nexus of shields. Alright, Neeb being a little more diligent with these mines now, but Clem has lost a lot of momentum. And this was the issue I was talking about earlier, is while you have the supply and while your upgrades are pretty close, that's when you try to get damage done. But that time has passed. Neeb has built the army that he wanted. He got the upgrades he needed, and right now, besides a couple random-ass Widow Mines in his main, he's looking pretty good. He's got a 20 supply lead, most of that in army. He's got even income. His army is 2-3 versus 2-2, and honestly, Clem doesn't have that many units that really deal with this. A great spread and some solid EMPs will help, but even in a heads-up fight. Look at Neeb's map vision. It almost looks like map hacks. Like, not only does he have vision of most of his side of the map, well, most of the map, but also Clem's base. Clem is still so strong that doesn't mean Neeb has been able to close this out yet. But the jaws are tightening. How are these Widow Mines still here? They were on his mini-map for a time as well. Like, there's just too many Archons, and you don't solve this with Marauders. You need Liberators, you need, I don't know, even tanks, maybe. It's a little late for tanks. It's definitely late for tanks. Really ranged Liberators and maybe some Vikings. But 200 supply of Marine Marauder. Neeb has half a dozen Disruptors, them on their own. are potentially enough to deal with this. Though, he shouldn't do that again. He's made that mistake before. Let's bring the whole army, Neeb. Alright, we're almost there. It's 2-0. Just everything all together now. The scan spotting for army, and like there's just constant scans. Clem has held on. He's going for +3. Both players have been very reluctant to continue building upgrades. Another disruptor finds a... There's only so much you can hit now. Here comes... Clem is trying to close in on this, but a single Templar stands alone to delay. A little bit of an awkward engage. Clem... It's so easy for this bio army to get in disjointed. And if he comes in from the wrong angle, and there are many wrong angles, it all falls apart. But he still has 130 supply bio. He's dragging Neeb into a concave, but disruptors could help break him out. When will he fire the shots? He's not firing the Ruptors! Most of them don't do anything. He backs off to the last two. Another round of storms, and Clem is doing it again. The Vikings coming up, but oh, a lot of stalkers come in. The reserve Templar. It looked like Clem might have actually somehow found the fight. But the rest of Neeb's reserves came through. Another warp in of Stalkers and Zealots, as well as a whole bunch more Templar, while the Disruptors were left by the wayside in the fight. There's a bank. He has money. He's only got 8 gates, but he's been producing off 2 robos and pretty consistently warping in. So now Neeb is knocking on the door, and Clem does not have an answer. Neeb, just kill his other bases. He just wants to end this here, which is the only risky way to do it, because he's going into a concave of Liberator Bio. It just seems like Neeb has a little bit too much. It's still kind of dicey, but... Neeb takes one back. The start of something, maybe. But Clem is still up 2-1. I got a little scared that Neeb was gonna get run over by Clem again. The Observer died, and now Neeb must take revenge. He came, he saw, and now you will be conquered. That Observer, honestly, if you had to point to any unit in that game, with how close it was, imagine if Neeb didn't have map hack level vision of Clem's natural, like half the game. I feel like that Observer made the difference. The way, and he put so much effort into sneaking it in too. Like it wasn't like he just threw it up there. Perfect. Oh no, it's Golden Wall. Yeah, okay. Alright. Calm down. Jimmy says, before we get into this, a quick advertisement. If you guys could pause and block, that'd be awesome. No skipping. Thank you for watching. Hey everyone! Everything must go! What is everything, you ask? Twitch Prime. Twitch Prime is gone. It's dead. Forever! Unlike Starcraft, and also unlike Starcraft, it's not actually dead. Instead, rebranded. Prime Gaming is the same thing, but it has a different name, so check it out. Also, like and subscribe and ring the bell, because Google hasn't bamboozled us yet. Okay. Thank you guys for sticking around. Golden wall. That was it. That's it. That's my commentary. If you look here, there's a wall of golden minerals. Now you get it. Good job, everyone. You're in the know. I want Neeb to do a max pack. Well, he's down 2-1. I would rather Neeb... I'm sorry, Clem. I've seen enough Clem. Neeb pops out of his, like, New York farmhouse, like, once every month to play an online tournament whenever the 5G is working. Okay, what am I saying? He's from, like, upstate New York, though. I don't know where he is now. He was in Korea for a while. I don't think he's in Korea anymore. I'm not sure. I haven't been tracking Neeb lately. Can somebody check the Neeb tracker? Oh, that was illegal. Jimmy, why did you set up the Neeb tracker in the first place? It's uncomfortable. Why would we track Neeb individually when we could just ask Jeff to do it himself? Exactly. Prime Gaming. Anyways, where were we? I'm feeling a Stargate on this round. Like, you got your weird air distances. You got the tendency of Terrans to do dumb drops. I think he's spending a lot on these. Where is Neeb's gas going? He's building a stalker after. Okay. Oh, wow. Clem. Will he hit the nade? Okay, you guys. Will he hit it? Oh, he's fucking dead. Alright, never mind. So, if you perfectly... Like, it has to be... I cannot stress this enough. Impossibly perfect. I think, honestly, if you have more than 5 ping, even if you're perfect, it's impossible. But if you throw the grenade at the right time, it can actually interrupt the attack animation right as the shade completes. And only if you do that will you survive. Or you get to the high ground or something, which Clem thought he could do. What are you doing, Neeb? He's like, well, the Twilight Council won me the game. Yeah, but it's not as fun. Does he go for Blink? Or do we, maybe a little bit of Dank Templar? What? What?
Who does that?
That's charge. He's only mining with 4 in gas here. Is he gonna pull out of gas entirely? What is the extra 100 gas for? He already has a robo. Neeb is just gonna do a big ass charge lot all in. I mean, I feel like every Protoss has gone down this road before. Like, well, I tried to play macro. And by I tried to play macro, I went Colossus Carrier. Okay, Neeb, that doesn't really count, but whatever you say. Now I'm just gonna do stupid all-ins, because that's all my race can do. Thank you, Blizzard. It's not real. It's only 4 gates here. So this is like a macro charge lot prism? Is he gonna go Templar Archives? Like, what? Who? Really, though?
Who does that?
That's a real question. I've not seen this. It's not very committed. This is about the least committed you could be to something like this. Only 4 gates. I feel like Neeb wants a 3rd, but this is awkward. Clem is just kind of moving out with a full-on barracks play, which means he's going to have nothing at all at home. Here comes Clem. He's halfway across the map. Oh, this is the... No, I mean, Clem caught in the worst possible spot, halfway across the map. He can't even really stim. He has no medevac, so we had to wait on that. Well, this is a total disaster for Clem. Like, this just kind of came down to build orders here, unfortunately, for Clem. He went for the big bio play to try to catch Neeb. Like, if Neeb goes for a Stargate or some sort of heavy tech, like, I don't know, a disruptor drop, then Clem just comes up and punches his face in. That's it. This is essentially the curb stomp Rax build. But Neeb just comes in with a dozen charge lots, and suddenly Clem now has to tuck his tail between his legs and wait for medevac so he can go to rehab. Robobay on the way. Forge. Neeb not getting greedy, not going for his third before getting his tech. Because the biggest weakness of gateway units is against well-microed bio. At some point, like, you can only microcharge lots so much. Okay. Like, Marines and Marauders can maneuver themselves into pretty creative, uncomfortable, and effective positions. And maneuver themselves right out if the Diamond League is any indicator. And that means at some point you do need the splash damage. Neeb is trying to... Charge lots are pretty finicky. They get out of the War Prism and they're raring to go. If he actually turned off the autocast on charge, which I don't think anyone has ever done in a legitimate game of StarCraft ever. But if he turned off the autocast on charge, like, I'm just imagining it, like, the amount of effort. But if he did, then he could manually charge into SCVs, I guess. And yes, charge can be turned off autocast. It occurred to me in a dream at some point. And also, you can technically see it. Once again, never been done. Here comes Clem again. You know what would be the worst possible timing for 4 charge lots and a prism to come in? Well. I don't... I don't know what you want to do now, Clem. He isn't, like, getting whiplash here, going back and forth. Like, he has plenty, but there's a couple medevacs who are going to be out of energy before the fight even starts. Technically, Clem has a third. He's ahead on supply. He's lost a lot of Rex, but he has a lot of bio. Neeb is going to have 2 Colossi is borderline too much. 3 Colossi is definitely too much. 3 Colossi is when your Marines just die. Especially with the +1. Well, you know what would be a pretty terrible timing for, oh wait, he kept enough bio back at home. Well, Neeb's army is spotted. The wonders of the Prism are that he can now just join up with the main army. That Widow Mine is dreaming, but it will remain just a dream. Unfortunately, now Clem has to leave a portion of his army in his main, which is not really where you want to be when Neeb has his whole army at your front door. Same time, though. Widow Mine drop finds 8 probe kills. The Stalkers are going for the orbital. The SCVs want to repair. There's a lot of force field units getting melted. Still a lot of the units in the main. He hasn't called in all the reserves yet. There are no Vikings here. The Colossi are burning through great EMP, but force field locks out about half the units. Another round of Stalkers coming in the blink. The body block. I think 1 Viking was there, but no longer. The bio army just isn't enough as Neeb melts through to match point. Clem never able to cross the Rubicon and really make a name for himself on the other side. Instead, had to come back and deal with things at home and never found an opportunity. That brings us to match 5. Two to 2. It still feels like Clem is losing more than Neeb is winning. I gotta say. If that makes sense. Like, that last game was kind of a build order choice. The game before... as we go deep into the archives of days, if not a week or two ago, to find the correct patch to watch this match. Caesar actually crossed the Rubicon to get back home to deal with things. You know, while that might be a good point, history has been muddied in the 27th century in the Caprulu, or 26th century in the Caprulu sector, and their retelling of the story canonically is different. And that is why I'm not wrong, but merely right in a different way. Obviously. In fact, that analogy would have worked way better if I just said he did. The more we look at that game, a whole bunch of zealots rising up to disturb the populace, but Clem comes back to quell the rebellion, only to be stabbed in the back again. What is Earth sector called? Like, there's the Caprulu sector, and I don't know who named that, but Earth is just Earth sector? And whatever happened to Earth? What happens to Earth if... Isn't it... I didn't play Brood War, so spoilers, by the way, for a game that's older than most of your children. Not you. Obviously, you're like 31. But your children. Anyways, isn't, like, Earth powerful enough to just wipe everyone out if they really put the effort in? I thought that was the gist of it. Like, if Earth really got motivated, then... No, like, not an exploratory force, but like a whole full-fledged deal. So, and then they're just like, they crushed him, and besides Stukov, kind of. And then they just fucked right off, back to Earth, and they're like, you guys got your own problems? And we're not gonna... In Starcraft 2, they're like, ain't touching that shit with a 100,000 light year pull. Or whatever. No one made it back. Extreme nerds in the chat. Are you criticizing my StarCraft 2 professional casting Twitch chat? You're like, these... I'm surrounded by a bunch of nerds! You guys are dweebs! Go do some push-ups. Is he going Phoenix? Don't do it! Don't do it, Neeb! Oh no. I mean, I didn't think it was bad. Okay. I just didn't think it was good. I think the real issue with Neeb going Phoenix wasn't that the Phoenixes were bad. It's that he went to the extreme. He's like, well, I'm going Stargate, so I can just go Carrier, right? No, you can't just go Carrier. You do not have the budget for that. You can't just, like take out a million mineral loan and be like, I would like to purchase all of your... No! And that was most of the issue with Game 1, was going way too far, way too fast, and Clem just running him over. very sad. Deja vu. Reapers getting slaughtered by phoenixes. They wanted to fly, but not that high. Well, this is about to happen. Yeah. Don't talk to me or my son ever again. Which one of you is the son? Obviously the Viking. They're more like that's more like a buddy cop duo than father and son, but maybe both. Father, son, buddy cops, but one of them is also a dog. Unrelated. 3 worker kills and spots the 3rd command center. Immortal on the way. This is kind of some Tecta boys being pulled. There's like a dozen Marines, a couple Vikings, a Cyclone getting involved, a tank. So a bare bones attack here. The tank really does complicate things. The Vikings can zone out. There is a shield battery. The Immortal's going to be the decider. Oh, the timing with the shade. Beautifully done, Neeb. Targeting the Vikings first. Gets the Cyclone immediately. Immortal just steps up to the plate and knocks the tank into oblivion. The Phoenix is lifting up and slicing apart anything left in the air. A bloody battle that Neeb decisively wins. The Vikings getting chased down. Now several Phoenixes were killed. 4 Phoenixes. Oh my god, almost gets the parting shot with that micro there, but Neeb with the full-on counterattack. The Marines not very happy that they were given late notice to the attack. Or notice at all, really, actually, would make more sense. So an Immortal, 3 Stalkers, and 2 Adepts. Where did the Adepts? They canceled the shade. 2 tanks, 3... Okay, 2 tanks were a maybe, 3 tanks is a hard no. With the Phoenixes to get involved, you know, like, you can fudge the numbers a little, but 3 tanks is a hard no. Neeb is sending the Phoenixes out, but not in an attack pattern. 3rd Nexus nearly complete. Neeb up a dozen workers. Colossus on the way. It's prime time for some Widowmines. But the fact that he was building so many tanks gives away to Neeb that there's unlikely to be that many Widowmines, if any. So Neeb is grinding out. This is where he wanted to be in that game on Pillars of Gold. How fitting that we end with the same kind of game that we started with, after all the drama in between. Phoenixes into Colossi. Neeb's big mistake on Pillars of Gold was overextending, both in tech and with his army. This time, he's focusing on battening down the hatches. We got Colossi on the way. No, he's doing it again! Oh, you can't just go Fleet Beacon. You have one Stargate. I guess if you have that many Phoenixes, Phoenix range is a valuable investment. I don't know, Kev. It's pretty. The Fleet Beacon is not cheap. Like, it is not like just a trinket. It is definitely a serious gift. You get. It's like a 5-year anniversary type of deal. It's like once you've got some skin in the game there. All right, we'll go with the Fleet Beacon, but you don't just get a Fleet Beacon on the first night. Okay, you don't just get that mothership or whatever. It's still only 1 Stargate, right? Don't tell me he's just gonna go mothership. Neeb's like, oh, watch me. +1 air attack before any ground armor or weapons. Now, I'm acting so much like it's that first game, but it's not. Clem took a lot more damage. His attack was beaten down thoroughly. So now, Clem doesn't really have that bludgeoning force that he could. He doesn't have enough tanks to just walk up and plant himself down in a dangerous position. He doesn't have enough bio to just run through the Colossi. 3 Colossi, 9 Phoenixes. Continuing to pump them out. Disruptors getting mixed in. Neeb is He's got 4 bases and 80 probes. He has as much money as he could want. He's been ahead on income all but that one time that Clem dropped all of his mules. Clem's army, Clem is peaking army-wise. Like, this is... He doesn't have an armory, or if he did get an armory... No. Oh, he does have it. Okay. +2/+2. Thank God. What is this? What am I watching? Clem. Neeb is going carriers. But I think this time the carriers will be fully operational by the time the Terran army arrives. We'll have to see if this is going to be good for Neeb or if it will be his death Stargate strategy. Clem on sieges, an indicator of things to come. Phoenix range is done. At some point between EMP and Vikings, I'd love to see some Widow Mines mixed in. Just a couple Widow Mines can really soften up the Phoenixes, but they can backfire as well. So, something to consider. Clem does have the larger army. Neeb's army is just super expensive. It's 1,300 more gas, 3,000 to 1,700. Clem is nearly like when 2-2's finishing, Clem's gonna have to make a decision. Is he going for the fight, or are we gonna draw this thing out? What does drawing this thing out look like? I think nukes, or just full-on Sky Terran, or mostly Sky Terran at least. But rarely do we get to the point where we see the nukes in Terran versus Protoss, but the ultimate late game for Terran really is nukes. All it takes is 1 or 2 to truly land, and even then, like, when you have the minerals, which Clem doesn't really have. He doesn't have the bank right now. He doesn't have, like, 12 command centers. But if you see another couple Ghost Academies... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no! Okay. Shack at the free throw line, 0 for 2. Another shot, though. That one finds a connection. The fadeaway shots. Neeb covering his retreat. Another couple Marines. Eat it. Oh, will they beat it? EMPs. Are there more disruptors underneath? How do they not have cooldowns? The interceptors shot out of the sky immediately. More disruptors coming up. 2 tanks taken out. Interceptors gone. Where are the Colossi? They need to be able to close the distance. I think Neeb slammed on the Selectal Army hotkey, dragging adepts from all over the place. A mothership is halfway done. Clem is still on the doorstep. The interceptors have to rebuild. The disruptors apparently are on cooldown. Neeb only has a couple left over. He's got another couple disruptor shots. Oh my god, the damage from these Marines is so goddamn high. The carriers are completely empty. He only has 3 interceptors for 6 carriers. Marines, the direct and ready counter to carriers. I don't know what Neeb is thinking with them. I mean, you get enough carriers and you land a disruptor hit or 2. Yeah, that's a big scam. Clem, are we going for it or not? What's the play here? He's getting 2 more command centers. Adding on more Vikings and Ghosts. But the wild card is the disruptors. And the fact that these are +2 attack carriers. There's about to be a mothership. Neeb loses a couple Vikings. No. Neeb loses a couple Phoenixes. To the Vikings. There. A whole bunch of interceptors being produced. +1 air armor complete. Mothership has arrived. One of the most expensive armies you can build, especially with that much army supply. He's got 4,400 gas banked up in here. The disruptors are underneath. Clem knows. Oh my god, he just goes for him! Oh, none of... Holy shit, pentakill! I don't know if it was enough. He killed every single Ruptor and all the interceptors! He just stepped up to the plate and got the grand slam! He got every single one! Oh my god! At some point, you just gotta go. That... Oh my god. The gamble. I mean, calculated risk, but... He just tore through every single disruptor before any of them connected. The EMPs soften him up, and the bio knocks him down. But you have to really trust your ability. Like sure, he shift-clicked him, but you can't miss. If you miss, that's the game. Getting 20 supply of bio taken out by a disruptor hit, that is the difference. That's the only reason that fight, well, speaking of, that's the only reason that fight even went kind of well for Clem. Another disruptor. Just wards away the whole army. There's only the 2, though. He can cut off this base. He's going for it. Oh, the EMPs also hit the interceptors, even if you don't see the health bars. Goes great against interceptors. There are 2 more disruptors coming up. He's just fighting the interceptors straight up. Each one costs minerals and more importantly, time to rebuild. There's some disruptors. Here's one. Oh, no! Gets a ghost. Forces micro, which means the carriers are doing damage. Clem? Oh, no. The cooldowns. Not enough. The interceptor count has reached a critical mass. Neeb marches, glides across the map. The most expensive Protoss units you can build. A mothership, a dozen carriers, 5 disruptors, 5 Dark Templars somewhere. Clem is not even maxed. How? He can't, like, even killing the interceptors. Those are 2-1-2 interceptors, about to be +3. Now they're +3. The interceptor, Clem's just on 2-2. The DTs are forcing the issue by opening up the economy. What can you do? More Ruptors coming up. He's going deep in the paint. Dodges past a couple. His anti-air's on the other side. The Marauders giving their lives for the cause. But there aren't enough lives to give. The Red Army crumbles. And Neeb reigns victorious. The reverse sweep. 3-2. Brings it back to the carriers. And brings it home with the carriers. Usurping the European player on his home turf. To move on. Neeb punches through with the 3-2. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all those things. There's literally hundreds, thousands more videos. Hundreds of decent ones, kind of, maybe. What do you think? How does Clem deal with that? Should Clem try mech? Should Neeb try to not stress everyone out every time? Maybe both. Thank you to Wardy and to ESL for putting on these weekly tournaments. You can sign up every Monday. You can check the times, play.eslgaming.com, and maybe you can waste Neeb's time in the first or second round. Who knows? Give it a shot. Thank you for watching. Good luck, and have fun.